And it's like, why not take a character like that and build off of that? You know, they don't want to do that.
Instead, they want to do another 30th version of Spider-Man in a parallel universe to tie in a
Miles
black teenager.
Morales, Miles Morales version. Like, I think that's tokenism. You know, I think that's just tokenism. Hello, everyone. I am Burning Spirit Patriot, and I'm joined by Libby Lou. This is the One Patriot podcast, coming back at you again with another video. How you guys doing?
Hi, hello. Welcome to our channel.
Yeah, once again, thank you for joining us. Today, this podcast is going to be about the comic book industry. Now, I want to focus on we can focus on movies and the comics, but I want to talk about the continuation of the injection of these social justice warrior topics, and I want to talk about how it's just being hijacked. Our comics are being hijacked by the social justice warrior agenda. Recently, they just made Robin a bisexual. Now, I have not been the biggest follower of comic books these past few years, but I grew up on these comics. I grew up on the Batmans, the Supermans, even the Marvels, the X-Men, the Daredevils, Ninja Turtles, like all the classic comic books that we all grown up to know and love. And over the past, I'd say maybe 5 years, there has been a concentrated effort of interjecting social justice warrior hints and topics, and just particularly with the swapping of the race, gender, or sexual orientation.
Yeah.
That is very, very annoying to me. I don't know how you feel about it, but that is extremely annoying to me. It's getting to the point to where it's getting ridiculous.
Agreed.
You've had race swapping, and that has been disguised as like the mantle being,
brought forth.
Brought forth. Oh, well, it's just the mantle. There's no real Batman, or there's no real Captain America. Anybody can carry the mantle.
That's a lie. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but it is. I think we're probably irritated for a lot of similar reasons, but for the bigger part, maybe. Well, no, probably very similar. But one reason that I'm particularly upset is that reason. You can't just swap out characters and be like, oh, it's no big deal. There's no real Captain America, right? Like, what it does is it's undermining the individual's relationship with that hero, right? Like, suddenly, like, everything you know and you've loved about these characters is uprooted. Of course, they can change, they can shift, but it's like, why are we alienating these? Again, I know they're fictional, fans, but like, they're trying. Here's what it is, and this is what I think. The executives and the higher ups, and the Disneys and the Marvels and the DC. These people are certified leftists. Well, yeah.
They're certified, and they've got money to burn. What they're trying to do is to push an agenda. Disney's got billions of dollars to burn. So if their product
is not well received. They don't care. This is what's going to be pushed out to the children. This is the agenda that they want for the future. Money is not an object. So when you see these movies bombing, they don't really care. It's not really a big deal to them. The overall objective is to change culture.
Yep.
The overall objective is to indoctrinate your children. The overall objective is to drive out what made these characters be beloved, because they're you identify with these characters.
Exactly.
You identify with these characters. It's like, here's what they're doing. It's like, it's no longer, and I don't mind, any characters that, that are minorities. I love, a bunch of minority characters. But here's what it is. It's like, see, I'm playing video games with, I don't know. I'm playing video games with Daredevil, right?
Put your mic a little closer.
Oh.
Sorry. I want to make sure we're capturing every moment of this.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm playing video games with Daredevil, but it's not just you're playing video games with Daredevil. They have to make a concentrated effort to say, I'm playing video games with a gay Daredevil. It's always being pushed, like the identity politics is being pushed to the forefront. It's like it's like a character that is like not known for his actual superhuman abilities. They're more known for their identity politics.
Yeah.
And
I don't mind, like, if there's a gay comic book character, okay, like that honestly doesn't bother me entirely. It's the mass influx of changing original characters into fitting this now woke narrative, right? What's wrong with the traditional? Why can't we keep the traditional? And then also, okay, we have some of like, what is the minority of the population?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Like I said earlier, they don't really care.
And
but
minority, speaking about LGBT,
right?
Transgender.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like I said, they don't really care because they have money to burn. But at the same time, I feel like they're, in order to get their foot in the door, they have to piggyback off well-established characters. They're not going to be able to even like get it off the ground without getting or piggybacking off of an established character, because people are not going to be curious about it. Like they've tried it in numerous times, trying to like create these new characters, right? That push identity politics to the forefront, and it's failed. You have to have an established character that is beloved by the fans, and they have to piggyback off of those characters,
right,
in order for them to jumpstart, or in order for them to carry out their little agenda. It can never be something original.
That nostalgia,
right? Yeah, because you're not going to be able to draw the audience in.
Yeah.
From an original character. It's just not going to happen. You
know what I was thinking about too, and which is really sad. We had pretty limited characters to look up to as kids, right? Mm-hmm. Like that. So it kind of narrowed the options. So
what do you mean limited characters? Like
limited access, exposure to characters,
okay.
right? We didn't have the internet. We had public access TV. We had what was in the movie theaters, eventually cable, right? But we didn't have the internet today. So I think a lot of us are grounded in the familiarity of these similar characters. that we all shared, right?
Mm-hmm.
But kids today, there's so many characters, so many different channels and accesses. It's more niche. So I think trying to tap into that potentially is harder.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
developing these characters might be
Yeah.
a little bit harder in that cultural sense.
Mm-hmm.
That looking through the lens of technology, that might be a contributing factor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the way that...
And what kids are going out and buying comic books nowadays.
Yeah,
They're not spending their
yeah,
allowance to go to the comic book store,
yeah,
you know.
they're not, yeah. I think, you know, I want to know what their agenda is. Like, I have an idea what it is, you know. Making Robin a bisexual for what? What is their...
Well, that's my other question too. Like, yeah, what is the motive there? I mean, Robin's always been a little effeminate, you know.
Like, especially with his getup.
Not that all
he's like a
bisexual people are,
gymnast,
but
kinda,
yeah.
You know, he wears the little, you know, the little underwear and the little, like, the shoes that, you know, he kind of looks like a Peter Pan getup, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like...
But I do understand, like, okay, well, if we're going to have heterosexual relationships in these kids' comics and storylines, you know, there should be some representation for the gay community. I get that.
Yeah, but, like, add that in an original character. Don't take a character that, you know, is historically was not a bisexual, and then all of a sudden he's just like, oh, we're gonna make a historical, like, legendary character bisexual. Like, why?
Or it's,
you know,
like Woody. Did you know Toy Story? Rumors they're making Woody bisexual.
Well, yeah, I've heard
that's
about that.
a rumor, but still, it's like, but why? That's so...
Just make another toy that's bisexual.
Yeah.
Like, why are you taking a character that is the lead character and you're making him, like, LGBT?
Yeah. Why do we need to have love in those stories, like romantic love in those stories at all, though? Really?
Yeah, I mean, and I say the same thing. I get upset when, you know, when it comes to the race swapping thing, too. Like, I really get, it's so whack. I hate it. Like, it's the most, it's so garbage.
Yeah.
Why are you taking a character that has been white and you're making it into a character that's not white or non-white? It's just, they do it with every character.
Same with gender swapping?
Yeah, gender swapping too. Superman, Batman, Iron Man. Why are you doing that? It's just annoying. I think it has to do also with, you know, along with what I said earlier, it has to do with laziness too. Are you afraid that you're to
it's
actually...
a quick buck.
Huh?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. It's a quick buck. Right?
Yeah, it's a quick dollar because you can, you know, make a quick buck off of an established, you know, character that is heterosexual and white and male, and you're taking that heterosexual white male superhero and you're just like injecting a black character in his place or a female character in his place because you don't want to sit down and
take the time to develop these characters.
Take the time to develop
get people to love them.
Yeah, character development. You don't want to tap into your creative juices. You just want to make a quick dollar. And I think a lot of the writers also get a lot of pressure from their, you know, their higher ups to like, oh, we don't want to, spend all this money trying to like character development, or we're not trying to, what we want to do is just make a quick buck. Yeah. So just take Captain America and make him black, or take Robin and make him bisexual, or take Iron Man and make him a female. And just off of that character, Iron Man, Batman, Robin, whatever, they're going to be able to make some money off of it.
Yeah.
Because of the storyline and history of that character.
Absolutely.
It's
so annoying. It's so annoying.
It
I
is
hate,
annoying.
and it's so like
It's placating. Yeah, go ahead.
it's like condescending, and it's like
It is.
It's like, oh well, like black characters or black superheroes are not worthy to come up with an original story or worthy to develop into existing characters aren't worthy to develop into something that's substantial. You don't want to take the time to take this like there's a character that I like. His character is Static Shock, and it's this character. He's a black high school kid, and he like juggles high school and like vigilante crime fighting with he juggles that, and he struggles with that. It's kind of like how Peter Parker juggles like his job and school and taking care of his Aunt May and all that. Static Shock, he has the ability to manipulate like electricity. I think it's the ability to manipulate electricity, if I'm not mistaken. And he has this, this like kind of like a board, like not like a skateboard that he's able to like travel and.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a historical black character, and it's there is actual hunger for a story, like them to tap into a story and like really push and promote his character. And there was a cartoon that used to be out back in like the early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken, and it was pretty good. It was a good
really
it was like yeah, he's not he's popular amongst real comic book fans, but he's not really popular in the mainstream.
Got it.
And it's like, why not take a character like that and build off of that? They don't want to do that.
Instead, they want to do another 30th version of Spider-Man in a parallel universe to tie in a
Miles
black teenager.
Morales, Miles Morales version. Like, I think that's tokenism. I think that's just tokenism. You're just taking a character and you're tokenizing it, and it's like, I never seen a character that was historically black, being made into a heterosexual white character, white male character.
No, you could not do that. Could you imagine the riots
Oh,
that would happen?
It was like,
oh my Lanta.
They would go crazy. Yeah. What are you're taking away from this minorities? They don't have anybody to look up to, so you're taking away. I'm like, it's so whack. It's so. It's like, gosh, you don't have any kind of faith in investing into a minority character that's already there, or developing.
That is racist.
Huh?
To me, that's racist.
It is
right?
pretty racist. I feel like you don't have any faith.
Yeah.
You don't have you have to get the white characters leftovers. That's what it is. Anytime you see and Eric July, he's a podcaster. He's and a social media like influencer. He talks a lot about this. Look him up. He has a lot of good content, but he talks about how comic books and the comic book industry and how they, pretty much what we're saying, how they tokenize these characters, right? And they put and interject a minority character in a historically white character because they're too lazy to develop a minority character and take the time and put the money into it. They're too lazy to do that. So what they do is we'll give them the leftovers.
Right.
Give them the leftovers of a character that is already established, and it's like you're not good enough to have your own stuff.
Have your own.
Yeah, it is like, and then you get
storyline.
It's crazy because a lot of these minorities out here, they think that it's a great thing. It's like, no, that's not a
know.
good thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you're taking leftovers. That's
Well,
all you're doing.
I wonder if people think like, you know, there's this trend of retroactive justice happening, right? Like, you know, want to talk about reparations or just many things, particularly over the past 18 months. But I wonder, like, are you trying to rectify the past because there were too many white characters? Is that part of it too? Like, which also doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like when something is already established, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Leave it alone. There's plenty of minority characters that you can develop. Just leave the established characters alone. There's no need to.
Now, I do think, okay, I know we talked a little bit about this before, but Captain Marvel wasn't a relatively known superhero, right? So I think that transition from male to female, you know, was okay.
Yeah.
Because not as many people were rooted in. Most people didn't even know who Captain Marvel was.
I mean, that is a success. That is a successful, like, I guess, you know, transition from male to female. Like, that was a successful.
Yeah.
So.
But even then, I felt placated, like, in certain things, and I don't know why more feminist. I get why they cheered it on at certain points. But she's kind of a dick. And not in a good way. Like, you know, I'm like, you know, Tim Pool made this point where it's like, a dude tells her to smile. Yeah, it gets annoying. But then she takes that as the right to, like, beat the crap out of the dude, steal his motorcycle and his clothes.
So
that's not a message I want
she's
my
a criminal.
daughter. Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, she's a criminal. Isn't she supposed to be like a hero, a superhero?
Right.
She's not. It's not like she's like this anti-hero. Like, she's not marketed as some kind of anti-hero.
No.
Like, or I can see if like it was like a Venom type character that's like kind of like an anti-hero, and you know, he's a villain and a kind of anti-hero. But like, Captain Marvel is not one of those things. Like, as far as I know, I don't really know much about her character, but as far as I know, she's, you know, she was a pilot, you know, a fighter pilot in the military, and comes from a background that's not, you know, criminal. So why would they interject that, like, little, you know,
because
spot?
It's woke feminism. Which
so
drives me bonkers. I don't like that at all.
Yeah. It's kind of like, like we were talking about the whole, like, bit of the end game with the, all the women coming together at the end, and it was so cringe.
Ugh. It's so cringy. And that would never happen, ever, in a real battle. It's just stupid. Unless it's like a female army, you know, unit. Then okay, I could see it. But just randomly all these females come together for a moment, and it's like, no, stop. I don't want that. Just let them all fight together.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's one thing if you are like, you know, a unit that's already established. Like, you know how the Wakandans are like a unit and they're already established to fight. Like, they have their formations and they have their, you know, strategies.
Tactics,
But when all these like random women like just start coming together, and it's like, they start like fighting, like it's like, what? This is like so unbelievable.
It was, it just really tainted that entire epic battle scene for me, right? Like, that was an epic movie, right? For the cinematic universes. But that scene almost ruined it for me.
Yeah. I still think that was a really good movie, though.
Oh yeah, no, it was really good.
Yeah, and it's probably like the last great.
I know. That was the end game.
Yeah, like that was probably the last. And people have their criticism about that movie. There are a lot of people who don't like that movie that I've talked to. But yeah, that was probably the last, universally, like, majority of people enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
And now everything has just like been, aside from maybe the Joker, I think everything has been like just
wokeism.
Yeah, well, it's just nothing has been universally loved since that movie.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. No,
besides the Joker. Mm-mm. I don't know. Can you think of anything else?
No, I can't.
Yeah. Black Widow just came out and that bombed.
Yeah.
Like, according to their standards, they bombed. They're under the level that they're supposed to be at.
Right. One thing, so Guardians of the Galaxy, right? I think the consensus is that that's pretty well loved, right? Yeah. So I'm wondering though, they're trying to, you were saying, make Star-Lord bisexual.
Yeah, let me look that up. I want to Star-Lord LGBT, because I know I read something about that. Yep, it came right up.
Yeah. Well,
Marvel makes Star-Lord into dudes to own Chris Pratt. Will they bisexualize Star-Lord? God. It's like...
And just to be... I don't understand that move at all. Because just to own Chris Pratt because he's a Christian and he doesn't really talk about his politics a lot, but conservative and supports troops and supports police officers. And so they want to own him by making him play a character he's probably not. This is presumptuous. Maybe he's fine playing that character. I don't know. But they're going to lose on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is the draw to Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah,
you have Groot. Groot is beloved, but he can be...
I think they actually... Yeah, it's confirmed, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of things it's confirmed he's coming out. Marvel just confirmed that he's going to be bisexual. Yeah. That happened last year, actually. December 15th, 2020. Oh, man.
So I wonder if they're just going to write that into comics or if they're going to
I think it's just going to be in comics, for now.
Yeah.
He's bi and poly.
What?
Yeah. What is poly?
Polyamorous. So, doesn't believe in...
LGBT community gains another Marvel hero. You didn't gain. You just stole. You just hopped on a... What do you mean
cried
gain?
Enough.
Yeah. What the hell does that mean? Gain. I'm reading the InsideTheMagic.net. Marvel... LGBTQ community gains another Marvel hero, Star-Lord. What the hell, man? And it's will Chris Pratt welcome the bisexuality of his guy? Oh, man.
Maybe he will, but I hope that he doesn't. Is that... I don't think that's a terrible thing for me to think, but he shouldn't be...
No, it's not terrible. I hope he rejects that. I hope he's no, I'm not doing this. Find another Star-Lord.
Yeah, which will tank Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's going to tank Guardians of the Galaxy. It's going to tank it.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to watch it.
Nope.
If you try to interject that bisexual, LGBTQ crap into it, you're going to lose a lot of fans.
Yeah.
From watching the movie, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And the comic book is not going to sell.
No.
It's not.
No.
It's not. It's not. It's gonna. Matter of fact, American comics are down the shitter. Go to the top 20. When you look at the top 20, just comic books, they're all manga. All manga, anime, comics, or cartoons, or like manga, anime, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not a big manga fan. I don't really. I'm not really into anime, but they are dominating.
Yeah.
The industry right now. They're all of it is occupying the top 20.
I can see why, honestly. Yeah. I'm into some anime. I'm not like a huge, I wouldn't consider myself like a connoisseur. I don't know. Whatever the term would be for that. But I do get down with it. I know like true anime fans are gonna mock me right now, but like Attack on Titan is great. I love like Studio Ghibli, big fan of that. So like Princess Mononoke, Ponyo, those type of stuff. I like it, but I'm not like I don't nerd out on it.
Yeah. So like you and I, we sit on the podcast and ramble incoherently about like what we don't like about the comics, but what can we do about it? What are we going to do about it? Are we got to show that we do continue to not support this type of stuff.
Yeah, don't go see these movies if you don't support the message. Don't give them your dollars.
Don't give them your dollars. You can create your own comics, which is something that I'm doing right now. You've been, you've had a helping hand in that, and I'm developing my own comic book, universe. It's in the very, very early stages, and I continue to. Right now, I'm just building up. Character profiles, character bios, and adding what the gist of the backgrounds of the characters are going to be about. And I have a synopsis of every single storyline on each comic that I'm creating. But while I'm doing that, I'm building the characters. I have a sketch pad. I'm not the greatest artist, and I just bought a drawing tablet as well, and I do a little doodling, and like it just when I draw while I'm drawing these characters, it helps me come up with different scenarios and different storylines. It's a beautiful thing to create, and like I said, like conservatives period need to get back into the culture industry. They need to get back into the arts. They need to get back into the entertainment industry and start having giving it an alternative to all of this crap, because the left is pretty much dominating all of it.
Well, it's hard. Like, I mean, this is anecdotal, but like for me personally, when I was liberal, it was a lot easier to live this art, creativity. I was able to tap into that more because I wasn't as driven, like in my
politics,
and my like financial and financial stability and my career. And so once I started getting really focused and honed in on that, like I got to support my family. Artistry kind of went to the wayside, and I'm not attributing that to becoming more conservative because I stopped being artistic. Is more like I just had a different drive. And started seeing things through a different light as I went through this journey, right? And now I'm at this point where I'm like, Oh, no, it's important to bring back the artistry. Yeah, in the small capacity that I have, touched on, building your comic book. That's been awesome, and like awoken this,
It's awoken the sleeping artist
giant. Yes, exactly.
I want to tap into all of that. Like, I'm having fun doing this too, and I'm doing this really for myself to like, and I've shared it with a few people, and they've been really, it's crazy because they've been like really excited, because I personally think that a lot of it is like kind of corny and pretty generic. The storyline is pretty, it's not really all that like unique. It's just pretty much just tapping into like, the older comics that I grew up into.
Yeah.
Like, I'm highly influenced by a lot of that.
Well, I think you've got great storylines going. I'm excited. I won't say anything about it, but there's some really exciting stuff coming out of it.
Yeah, so. I think that the storyline is like, you can probably interpret it to be unique, but the gist of like superhero loses loved one.
Well, there's the hero's journey. Right?
Yeah, the hero's journey. Yeah,
that's very common.
It's like
theme.
Basic.
It's basic, and you can analyze almost any superhero story,
and it's gonna be that
has the hero's journey.
It's like you kind of have to have that.
Yeah, it has every element that makes the perfect story.
Yeah, you have to have something has to drive them into this state of mind where I'm going to set out and dedicate my life to superheroism. I don't know. Something has to drive somebody to that point.
Right.
They
don't just wake up and say, "Hey, I'm a superhero."
They don't just wake
like,
up and
that doesn't make a good story. It's not relatable. So, I think doing that, getting into writing comics, like I'm trying to get more back into art myself and writing. I've always had a goal of writing a book, a novel, and just contributing. It doesn't matter like if 10 people see it, like just to start doing it so that there's some.
I plan on opening up a Instagram page and just like just getting my stuff out there, as far as just like not from a perspective of, I want to sell this one day, but I just want to see how everybody reacts to it, and just putting the characters out there, because I don't know. I think I'm really excited about the powers and abilities that these characters have, and how they're going to be able to use them, and how I'm going to interject their usage of their abilities into the storyline and different scenarios. And it's like, that's the fun part, and creating the villains is going to be fun too. It's like, I have like this profile like of a villain for one of my characters that I was doing last night on my break, just like just typing along, and it's crazy how you can just look at something like maybe like on the internet, or you're watching something on like TV, and then you just come like something like an idea will just come up, and it's like, wow, that's crazy. And I can imagine how this is how like most writers get their ideas. They just like randomly see something, it's like, wow, that would be cool to interject that into the storyline. So it's crazy. That's how I came up with this villain,
I don't think you've told me about this villain.
Well, I'll tell you, once
don't tell me that. No. You don't get to know yet. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
So like that's just one of the ways we can go or push back against this comic book or social justice warrior trend that's, in my opinion, ruining comic books. I don't know. I mean,
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. We got to start somewhere.
Start doing our part.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. Do you want to add anything else? Or?
No, just excited to go down that journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. We're gonna wrap it up and call it a day. And thank you again for joining us. Remember to hit like and subscribe.
Yes,
And
please.
also share this video with your friends and loved ones. Anything else to add?
No, just thanks for joining us. Yeah, we will have more news coming out soon.
Yeah.
So,
All right. You
All
guys
right.
have a good day.
sayonara.
Bye. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I feel like eating Chipotle.